Born in the gritty streets of New York City, Vario's journey through the underworld led him to become a formidable member of the infamous Lucchese Crime Family. Yet, it wasn't his mere association with this criminal empire that made him a legend. It was his larger-than-life persona, fueled by an aura of menace and a reputation for violence that preceded him wherever he went. But what truly sets Paulie Vario apart from the countless other mobsters of his time is the jaw-dropping catalog of legal troubles and arrests that marked his turbulent life. From a juvenile detention sentence at the tender age of 11 to daring heists and brushes with the law, Vario's criminal odyssey is nothing short of insane. Paul Vario's journey into a life of crime began in the gritty streets of New York City. Born and raised in the heart of the city, he had an early encounter with the law at the astonishingly young age of 11 when he was sentenced to 7 months in juvenile detention for truancy. AKA, he kept on skipping school and got into a lot of trouble for it. Now, this was merely a harbinger of the tumultuous life that lay ahead for this young man. Cataloging Paul Vario's legal entanglements provides a glimpse into the labyrinthine web of criminal charges that seem to be an ever-present backdrop in his life. Vario's extensive rap sheet reads like a criminal odyssey, spanning a spectrum of offenses that showcased his audacity and defiance of the law. His brushes with the legal system included charges of loan sharking, a pervasive activity within organized crime where Vario capitalized on desperate borrowers ensnared in his financial web. Additionally, there were the shadowy allegations of burglary, emphasizing his willingness to delve into the underworld's darkest corners for illicit gains. Tax evasion charges hinted at his mastery of financial subterfuge, a tactic often employed by mobsters to evade the relentless gaze of the IRS. Bribery allegations spoke to his network of corrupt influence, allowing him to manipulate situations in his favor. Bookmaking, an underworld staple, featured prominently in his criminal portfolio, demonstrating his involvement in illicit gambling operations. Contempt of court charges reflected Vario's contemptuous disregard for legal authority, a trait that consistently landed him in hot water. However, it was Vario's penchant for unbridled violence that truly set him apart. One particularly striking incident unfolded in a restaurant where he brutally assaulted a maitre d' who had accidentally spilled wine on his wife's dress. Vario's explosive temper escalated as he chased the hapless maitre d' into the kitchen, culminating in a violent confrontation with waiters armed with knives and heavy pans. Yet even more chilling was the allegation that Vario had severely beaten a female bar server with a baseball bat, a crime purportedly committed due to her revelation of an affair with Vario to his wife. Paul Vario's involvement with the Italian-American Civil Rights League, or IACRL, provides a fascinating glimpse into his life beyond the criminal underworld. Vario took on the role of membership director within the league, a position that, on the surface, appeared to be a departure from his criminal activities. The league was founded by Joe Colombo, a prominent figure within the Italian-American community who sought to address issues of discrimination against Italian Americans. In this capacity, Vario was responsible for recruiting and managing members, a role that suggested a commitment to advocating for the rights and interests of Italian Americans. However, Vario's association with the league took a dramatic turn due to unwanted attention. The IACRL became embroiled in controversy and media scrutiny, largely due to Joe Colombo's relentless accusations against the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the US government. Colombo's inflammatory rhetoric and conspiracy theories attracted significant attention, which threatened to divert the focus from the league's civil rights advocacy to its alleged criminal lies. This shift in the public narrative and increased law enforcement scrutiny likely unnerved Vario and prompted his withdrawal of support and membership. Vario's decision to distance himself from the IACRL illustrated his shrewd understanding of the balance between criminal endeavors and public image. As his criminal activities remained a primary source of income and power, the unwanted attention brought about by the league's activities became a liability. Consequently, Vario chose to prioritize his criminal empire, a move that was consistent with his reputation as a pragmatic and calculating figure within the organized crime landscape. By now, you know the drill, so before we continue with our video, please take a second to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press that bell icon as well. This helps our viewership as well as our channel longevity. Thank you. In October 1972, Paul Vario found himself in the crosshairs of law enforcement as his junkyard in Canarsie became the focal point of a significant police raid. This operation marked a pivotal moment in Vario's criminal career. The raid stemmed from an investigation into his alleged involvement in witness tampering. It was reported that Vario had advised Frank Heitman, a convicted gambler, to flee to Florida in a bid to evade testifying before a grand jury in Nassau County. This act, designed to obstruct justice, led to Vario's indictment on charges of tampering with a witness. However, the legal storm was far from over. On November 21, 1972, Vario faced yet another indictment, this time for insurance fraud. The charges revolved around a scheme where Vario and several co-conspirators stripped a boat of its equipment, sank it, and subsequently filed a fraudulent $7,000 insurance claim. This insurance fraud case further compounded Vario's legal troubles, painting a picture of a man willing to exploit any avenue for illicit gain. Furthermore, within the same month, Vario was also indicted on charges that included an attempt to bribe a police officer. The attempt to bribe an officer was a stark example of his relentless pursuit of self-preservation within the bounds of his criminal enterprise. These 1972 raids and indictments marked a significant turning point in Vario's criminal saga, leading to a period of heightened legal scrutiny and mounting pressure from law enforcement. Following the tumultuous legal troubles in late 1972 and early 1973, Paul Vario found himself navigating the treacherous waters of the American criminal justice system. In the wake of his multiple indictments and mounting legal woes, Vario faced probation violations, which were a stark reminder of the continuous legal pressures that he grappled with. The climax of his legal odyssey came on February 9, 1973, when he was convicted of tax evasion charges. This conviction culminated in a severe 6-year federal prison sentence. While incarcerated, Vario became a part of the infamous Mafia Row of prisoners in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, an environment where mobsters lived relatively lavishly compared to other inmates, indulging in wine and fine food. Among his fellow inmates, Lucchese soldier Johnny Dio took on the role of a cook for Vario and others, illustrating the camaraderie that often existed among organized crime figures even behind bars. Upon his release from federal prison in 1975, Vario returned to a vastly altered status within the Lucchese crime family. He was no longer the underboss, as new boss Anthony Corallo had replaced him with Salvatore Santoro. Despite this shift in power dynamics, Vario maintained strong ties with the family capo Joseph Joe Beck Di Palmero during the first few years of his release. It was during this time that the FBI believed Vario and Di Palmero had financed a substantial cocaine shipment valued at $1.5 million, which was later seized in Queens following a tip-off to the DEA. However, Vario's enduring mark on organized crime came in December 1978, when he approved the infamous Lufthansa heist at JFK Airport. While in Florida, Vario granted his approval for the audacious robbery, insisting that James Burke, then imprisoned, supervised the operation. The crew successfully looted an estimated $5 million in cash and $875,000 in jewelry, marking one of the most legendary heists in criminal history. Now, if you liked our video, make sure to drop a like and don't forget to comment below which criminal activities or families you'd like us to cover next. And as always, thank you very much for choosing to spend your time with us today. We'll see you in our next video.